So the first thing that we are going to do today, and I hope everyone can see my screen. Let me know if you can't see this. First thing I wanted to do is show you a completed sample file of a VRF model in EnergyPro. I'm going on the assumption that most of the people here are fairly new to EnergyPro. So after I show you this completed model and what it's supposed to look like, we're going to build one from scratch, showing you the inputs that you need to use and how to get those in there. And then I'll show you some of the reports and the calculations, and then kind of open it up to questions. So first of all, I hope you have EnergyPro. I hope you can maybe follow along on your screen with me. If not, that's fine. You can always download it later. The software is available for download at EnergySoft.com. And all right, I'm getting a message that the screen is too small. Does this look better? Ali is saying that the screen is too small. I can try that. Hopefully that's better. Okay, it's better. So yeah, you can download the software from EnergySoft.com. It will be a demonstration version until you have purchased it. There is a purchase online via PayPal link on our website. You can also contact sales to have them help you purchase it. Sure, I'll speak up. Sorry, Austin. So once you have the software on your screen, you can open the sample files, which are available in the projects folder. You just need to go to open, and then your projects folder will be located in the My Documents, and then EnergyPro 5. I have it saved here on my desktop. But there are a number of sample files here. The VRF and VRV sample files are labeled with the Mitsubishi or the Daikin or the LG. So I have one already open. It's here. And you can see that once you go into the central system icon, there will be a next to the new system, there's a list of all of the central systems from that manufacturer. So we have that here, and we're going to go over how to build this model in a few minutes. I just wanted to show you that if you want to open a sample file, this is where you do that. And then, as well as the central systems, in the zone icon, there is, under the mechanical tab, a list of zonal systems from the manufacturer located here. The VRF systems are not in the default library. The VRF systems are located in the sample files, and what you'll have to do is you'll have to export the central systems and the zonal systems from the sample file to your project. And the way you would do that is you'd have two projects open, the sample file and your project file, and then from this library select the systems that you want to export, and then you could export it to the default library, or if you had another file open, it would be listed under default library here, and you could export it to that the library of that project. I hope that answers your question, Austin. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to actually build a model from scratch. So I'm going to close this. We are going to open up a brand new file. You can either go File and New, or just in the toolbar here, open a new file. And you're going to have just a blank building here. First icon is the building icon, where the general information goes, such as the location. So I'm going to choose a location there. And then the building name, sample file is what we'll call it today. Is it a new building? Job number really comes from your office, however you label jobs in your office, or personally, that's how you'll do it there. And then project title and architect and lighting designer really is just documentation. It's not going to affect the calculations, but it'll show up on the reports. Under the Utilities tab, you select your utility rate information here. You can create your own utility rates if your utility rate isn't in the import button. We have a number of utility rates here, especially in California, but we don't have every utility rate in the country available. So if you did want to create your own, you just click on utility rates, enter the information here, and then you'd have that there. Notice that there are electricity and fossil fuel utility rates. If you're going to be doing any kind of economic analysis, you need to put these utility rates in, because otherwise the program won't know what the energy is costing. No, there's really no way to put that number on there, to put the engineer of records PE number onto the report. You can type it in after your name if it fits, but otherwise you'll just have to write it in there. So once you have the general information input for the building icon, you're going to add the plant icon. And in EnergyPro, whenever you want to add something, you right-click onto the icon and then select Add Plant. It'll show up as an undefined plant. You can highlight that there, and now you're going to input the domestic hot water and heating hot water, as well as the chilled water information into this plant icon. If you're modeling a building with only VRF systems or VRV systems, you're not going to have a heating hot water boiler, so you would just leave this undefined. If your building has a heating hot water boiler providing hot water to a built-up system as well as a VRF or VRV system, you would define the heating hot water boiler here. Clicking on this undefined box takes you to our boiler library. And then in the domestic hot water tab is where you would select the boiler which provides service hot water to the sinks and the showers and that sort of thing. So I'll just select the standard one here. And we have the hot water, the service hot water there. For lead projects, under the renewables tab, you can enter your renewables. And then under the exceptional tab, if you have something else that you think deserves credit and you can prove to the USGBC, you can enter that information here, and it will be included in your final results. These tabs, the chilled water and the hydronic, are for built-up systems. We're not going to go into this much detail today. If you have any questions, let us know, but you put the cooling tower and the chillers here under this tab. So once you have the plant icon, you're going to need to build a system. Again, you'd right-click on what I have called undefined plant right here and select Add System. You have an undefined system where you can change the name, You can select if it's new or existing or removed or altered. And then by clicking on the new system, you get into the default library. Now this is the default library. It's not going to have the VRF and VRV systems right now, just the way I have mine set up. If you change your default library, you can have all those systems listed here and you won't need to import them. And please let me know if I'm moving too fast or if there's something you want me to go over again, anything like that. So in this general tab of the system, you can list where your outside air comes from. If you have a dedicated outside air system supplying air to all your systems, you would select that there. We do have a dedicated outside air sample file, which you can view. We're not going to get into that much detail on that again today because we're concentrating on the specific systems. Okay, and then next in this system icon is the distribution tab. I know it seems weird that it says ducted here for these if we're doing VRF systems, but that's how it should be. The software calculates the correct energy usage of VRF and VRV systems with these listed as ducted. It's not going to change if you change it. The results aren't going to change if you change it to ductless. But if you're doing a separate type of system and it was ductless with a fan, you could change that there for the heating and for the cooling. Okay, after you have a system, you can either select to add a zone, or you can right-click on the plant and add another system. It's all right-clicking and adding. You can continue to build your model this way. For each different system type you have, you would add a different system, and then there's the multiplier of the system listed here. If you have 5 of those central systems, you could put the multiplier in right there. So moving along to the zone icon, this is where you would select the occupancy type. It's not going to be single family most likely. Let's say we're doing a complete building office. And then if you're running a 90.1 calculation, you also need to select lighting occupancy, which would also be office. Yes, for the VRF, all of the system inputs are going to be populated based on the library. We have those libraries, and all of the systems have all of the necessary inputs already selected. So once you import that system from the sample file to your file, you don't really need to change anything else. And I guess now would be a good time to show you how to import that. So I'm going to make my EnergyPro screen a little bit larger there. I hope it doesn't mess up your viewing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open, and then I have my projects folder right here. You can save your projects folder anywhere you want. I have it on my desktop. Once you open that projects folder, and then open up one of the manufacturer sample files, and then a little trick here is to go to Window, Tile Vertical. And what I want to do now is I want to get the systems from this Mitsubishi sample file into my project file over here. So I will open up the Central System Library. There's 2 ways to open up the Central System Library, either by clicking on the library here within the zone icon, system icon, excuse me, or you can go into the libraries here and zonal central. So let's say I want to use this system here. I'll select it. I'll hit export, and my building 1, which is the file I'm working on right here, is listed. Click OK, and the central system is exported. Now when I go into the library of my building that I'm working on, the system I want to use is right there. I'll select it, and that's it. All of the information is already filled out with the output for the heating, the output for the cooling, the fans. It's all there, and you shouldn't need to change anything. Yes, it takes into account the part load efficiencies. That's really the point of the VRF and VRV systems.